I'm Jim Amos. I'm a Consultation-Liaison Psychiatrist, and this is about being between the devil and the deep blue sea. CL psychiatrists often have to make tough choices, and it can feel like being between the devil and the deep blue sea. Other ways to express this are being on the horns of a dilemma or being between a rock and a hard place. It comes from Greek mythology. CL psychiatrists often find themselves in difficult situations that often set one between two bad choices: suicide risk assessment, abnormal illness affirming behaviors, decisional capacity assessments, and disposition between medical and psychiatric units. Suicide risk assessment means looking for risk factors and protective factors, deciding on whether voluntary or involuntary hospitalization is needed. The suicide crisis syndrome is a new development in the suicide literature, and the emphasis is on safety plans rather than no suicide contracts. The suicide trigger scale by GALYNKER and colleagues could be helpful in assessing for imminent suicide risk. Feeling like one is trapped and that there is no exit could line up with frantic hopelessness and ruminative flooding, which could predict imminent suicide. Abnormal illness affirming behaviors is another difficult area. Functional neurological disorder or conversion, somatic symptom disorder, malingering, factitious disorder, all of these give rise to difficult choices about whether to confront or not, or to therapeutically discharge or not. There are helpful resources for communicating with patients about functional neurological disorders, and you can find one of them at the National Neuroscience Curriculum Initiative website. Login is free. Decisional capacity assessments can sometimes result in feeling like one is caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. Establishing that someone lacks decisional capacity is probably easier to do than to make a safe discharge plan when hospitalization is unrealistic or might be counterproductive. Internists and psychiatrists have different frames of reference when it comes to decisional capacity assessments. Psychiatrists may be more reluctant to remove decision-making power from patients because they have to deal with the courts. On the other hand, internists' frame of reference tends to be the morgue and the critical care unit, and they might tend to be more paternalistic. Patients who have comorbid medical and psychiatric illness can be very challenging to take care of in a hospital where there is no medical psychiatry unit. In most hospitals, medical problems have to be stabilized before psychiatric treatment can begin. Conversely, psychiatric disorders can interfere with medical management. Medical psychiatry units, or as Roger Cathall prefers to call them, complexity intervention units, have a strong role to play in general hospitals. Integrated care recognizes that the interaction of medical and psychiatric illness is a given. These are selected references. Thanks for viewing.